Hey there, this is Adam Winnig.
Hey guys, Derek Alexander here.
And we are here with a brilliant mind behind the most powerful automated Forex trading software on the planet. This is Quicksilver, and he's actually running a back test here for us right now on the computer, which you guys are going to get to see behind the scenes of what it's actually going to be like when you're using this very powerful software.
So, Quick, why did you create a software like this for people to use in the first place?
Basically, my initial thought process behind this thing was to build something that the average Joe can make money with. It's an automated system that you don't have to have knowledge of the Forex market or any kind of investing to use. It's something that a guy can open up an account with $500 and be able to help make a car payment, or be able to help with their mortgage, or be able to do something with. It's pretty much a standalone product.
So is it realistic that somebody with no prior knowledge, they could actually get in here, they could set this software up, and they could start seeing return on their money?
Absolutely, absolutely. You set the software up. There's really not a lot of there's not a lot to it. Once you get the software set up, it'll work on its own.
And why would you not, have this for some big hedge fund or some big Wall Street, company?
Actually, I had worked for a hedge fund prior. They have billions of dollars. There's for me, if I can do something to help the masses, and to me, I would make the same money whether I worked for one giant hedge fund or help thousands of people. I'd much rather help thousands of people than just make the hedge funds more money.
Sure. So what are we looking at right now?
Right now, we're talking about this is a euro versus U.S. dollar trade. The most common currency pair to trade. We started an account out with $5,000 just for demo purposes only, and we're letting this trade run throughout the month. The software runs all by itself. What it's doing is this is running in the month of January using the actual historic data from this prior January. So it's not any kind of numbers that are cooked or anything like that. This is you once you get the software, you can run it yourself, seeing the actual live testing and run it yourself. With this software, we're not trying to make a ton of money on a trade. We're trying to take little pieces, not be greedy in the market, take small money. What's the most impressive thing about the software is the fact that it has something built into the system to where it will help you out of trades that are not going your way. Lots of people have softwares that will be able to do well when the trade is going well, but you can have the software that goes 95% success, but the 5% that lose wipes out your account. What this does is we've created a very intelligent way for the software to move and to work its way through negative trades. As you can see here, this has only made $6.80 on these transactions, taking these $1.44 fees. They're not making a lot of money per transaction. But for example, in this particular trade, this was a lost trade. You see it lost $32.40. But a little bit prior to that, the software made the determination that the trade was not looking very good, and it decided to make a hedging trade going the other direction, so that as this trade was losing, this other trade was winning. And as you can see, it took a $32.40 loss, and the winning trade at the same exact time took a $33.60 gain.
Wow. So
as you can see, the greens are all the ones that won right away. We can go through them and try to see if we can get to another. Here's one. Here's one that it didn't actually do a hedge trade. It saw that the trade was not looking great after an hour, and because it was close to break even, it just decided to close the trade. So we wouldn't have to even deal with creating a hedge trade. It just said, you know what, we'll live to fight another day. And the same thing on the next trade, it said, you know what, let's just take $4.51 and get out. It's taken a while to get there.
So talk about quickly why this is different from trade signals. I know a lot of people will take signals from expert traders, and I have in the past, and I've lost a lot of money doing that. Why is this different? Why is this better?
First of all, when somebody sends you a signal, they typically say, okay, let's trade, just for example, the euro US dollar to go down. You think it's going to be a sell trade. You buy a contract of this and you do that. So at that point, when you get that signal, assuming that you're sitting right next to the guy, you would get the signal right away. But that's not the way it works. Even if you were sitting next to the guy, you would still have to open your trade account, open up that contract, make the trade, and get it in. That's going to take you 30 seconds if you're standing next to him. A lot of these signals, they send it out over a message board or over Skype or over this or over that or a chat room, and that's going to take almost a minute before you even get the trade. Trades in the marketplace move in milliseconds. If somebody gives you a euro US dollar trade by a signal, by the time you get that trade in, it's probably not even a good trade anymore.
Right.
So maybe you win, maybe you lose, but you're not getting in anything that I would say is a pretty good thing.
Well, also, with that, there's probably thousands of people that are all doing that same trade. With this, would everyone be using the same trades?
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. With this, the system moves in milliseconds. The computer moves faster than any human could possibly move. When the trade is available to take, the system places the trade for you. It's not trying to see if it's a good position or not a good position. It just does it.
So there could be 10,000 people all using the software and no one's taking the same trades.
Well, what ends up happening is because everybody's internet connection and they're what's called a virtual private server, their software is set up on a server in the cloud. Everybody's internet connection is a little bit different. The closer you are to the server, the faster your connection. Everything varies based on how long it takes the system to connect to your broker.
Yeah.
Well, the trade may not get in on some. If it looks at the trade and says, okay, yours is taking too long and the trade's not in a good position, it just won't take the trade. You'd rather miss a trade than get in on a bad one.
Sure.
So the software is not going to have any two people are not any two people are going to have the exact same trade. If the euro US dollar is at 117.850 for one person, it might be at 117.853, 117.862 for another. If that trade doesn't look like it's in the range of the software thinking it's going to win, it isn't going to take the trade.
So we're looking at this, and it's obviously very impressive. Like, we're seeing lots of green, lots of profits, and the trades that it does lose, it hedges it where the losses become very small. But what about somebody that's like, well, this is great for somebody that's got $5,000. What if somebody doesn't have $5,000?
That's what's really impressive about the software. Anybody can really get into it. If you have $500, you can take $500, put it into the trade account, and the percentages are going to be about the same. So if you're sitting back and you're working on, you're saying, okay, I'd like to try it with $500, maybe save up some money, and next month put a little bit more and a little bit more. You can always start out very small. There's no real minimum that you have to start with. The only thing that I tell you is that if it's too low, for example, if you did it with $150 or $200, it wouldn't work out real well for you because, as you saw in the losses, as it has a loss, it's also placing an additional trade the other way. You have to have enough money in the account for it to place the trade the other direction.
Sure.
So $500 is what I really recommend starting the account with. But I think that it really, I really believe it's going to change people's lives.
Yeah, and before this was offered to the masses, you offered this to private companies and so forth. And if you were a private company at the time and they wanted to get this, how much would they have to pay for something like this?
Well, it all depends on what if it's a private company that wants to trade millions of dollars, or trade higher volume. I mean, they're going to pay me $50,000 and $3,000 a month for maintaining it.
Wow.
And that's it. It's not a cheap process because again they're making money. And it's well worth it at that price.
Of course.
Cool. Sure. So this is a unique angle for the average Joe, somebody that maybe just has a job that's looking for additional source of income. Will be able to make without having to invest $50,000.
Oh, yeah. And you know what the greatest thing about this is? It also has a compounding feature in it. As you're trading, let's say you start out with, let's just use $1,000 as a point of reference. And as the $1,000 is in there, and you have more money, it's going to trade a little bit higher lot size, which means it's going to trade more money as your account grows. So your account's going to grow exponentially. It's so as you're doing it, your first month is going to be X number of dollars. Your second month is going to be even a higher percentage than the first month, and the third month is going to be even a higher percentage than that.
Yeah.
So the software is going to constantly be be monitoring your account.
So it looks like the month is just finished. Can we show everyone what's happened here for the
Okay,
month?
so for the month, it went from $5,000 to $5,329.39. To give you a quick, just a
And
lot
that's
of.
for one pair, correct?
That's for one pair. This is what I was going to say, is that people sometimes look at that and say, well, I can't, I can't really live on on that or
Yeah,
this
right,
or I
of
can't.
course.
But $329. So let's look at it like this. If you had 10 pairs running this exact same thing, that $329 would be $3,299.
Yeah, and the people watching, you can do the math. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, you do it. 329. Say you're doing it on 20 pairs. You do the math. 329 times 20, right?
Right.
So can we see also inside
Sure.
like the overall statistics? I know you showed me last time. Where's the
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
how
yeah.
many percentage wins versus losses?
Absolutely. So if you go into the back test, it shows. This is the number that's most impressive to me. There's a balanced drawdown maximal right here. This number right here, 2.1%. What that means to you as as someone who's trading your money, it was only risking 2% of your of your money in order to make this. So you weren't risking a huge percentage of the money that you have in your account in order to make the 329. You're only risking 2%.
So for the people that maybe have some money in the bank and are kind of hesitant to go put something in this, they can rest assured and have that peace of mind that it's not risking 100%.
Yeah, it's risking very, very low percentages. This is the other thing. As it's going, to give you an idea, the short trades won, which means the sell trades, it won 97.73% of all the sell trades.
Wow.
And the buy trades won 95.45%. Losing only 3.4% of the trades. But forgetting the high winning percentage, that's not what's impressive about this. What's really impressive is the fact that as you're losing your trades, which it's hard to find the losing trades. There we go. But look, for a perfect example, here's a trade. It lost $100. $100.38. But like I said earlier, prior to that, it made the determination it wasn't going our direction, so it made a trade the other direction, and it actually made $118.44 on the very next trade.
Wow.
Looking at you closing it out at, it closed out this trade at 16:02 and 0.42 seconds, and this trade closed it out at 16:02.43 seconds, a split second later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's closing these trades out at the exact same time, one winning, one losing. So it's trying to eliminate the best it possibly can, even the long trades beating you up.
Remarkable.
Incredible.
Really remarkable.
So last thing is somebody's looking at this, and I know when I first saw it, before I experienced it for myself, I said, this sounds too good to be true. What do you say?
That's what I said.
Yeah. Right? Like
That's actually the number one thing that people tell me all the time. And the funny thing about that is you don't have to use real money. You don't have to risk 1 cent of your actual money. You can take the account, try it out for a week using a demo account. Try it out even if you want to do it for a month using a demo account. See what your account comes out to. All these Forex platforms offer you free demo accounts. Try it out with no risk. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
No.
But everybody's going to like it.
There's
Everybody's
nothing to
gonna
lose at this point.
Yeah, there's nothing to lose. Just try it. All I can tell anybody is just look at it with your own eyes. Use the back test. Freeze the charts. As you see this thing going by, you can freeze the charts. Look at where the market was on January 4th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and look up the actual market. The market is the market.
Right.
These are not numbers that are cooked or not cooked. You can do all the testing you want. You can look at it for yourself, and there's no way that it's going to cost you 1 cent.
Great. Well, for someone like Adam and myself, we didn't want to spend all day staring at charts and doing technical analysis and learning this industry, but we knew there's profits that can be made. Exactly. And this helps so many people that are in that same boat.
Yeah, this is not what you would say a fun job, sitting there all day long staring at numbers and charts and
No.
graphs. You just really want to have something. But what is nice is if you are into that kind of thing, the software doesn't take control of your money. You can close a trade out anytime you want in the software just by hitting an X in the corner.
So I can withdraw my money whenever I want.
Anytime you want. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. just have to be careful. One of the tricks that some of the brokers like to do is give you bonus money when you sign up. Don't do that. Just, then that kind of forces you to stay with them and not pull money out for a little bit of time. Just as long as you open up a standard account, don't take any bonuses, you can pull your money out day and night.